After the disappointing Halloween 5, it would be another 6 years before another sequel would be made. Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers is the final film in the Thorn trilogy. The film answers most of the questions asked in the previous movie and of course asks more questions that were asked before. I remember being shocked by this movie the first time I watched it. I mean, it wasn't what I expected it to be whatsoever. I mean, it was just so terrible. Last year I wrote an episode of Hollywood Beatdown for the film, but lost the footage and scrapped the episode. Then I planned to reshoot the episode this year, but since we have one day before Halloween and I still haven't finished the Hollywood Beatdown Halloween special that I did shot, it looks like that's not going to happen this year. However, I will recycle some of the jokes from the script. The film starts off with a fully grown Jamie Lloyd escaping from a weird building with her baby. In this film, Jamie Lloyd isn't actually played by Danielle Harris, which is a shame. Danielle Harris was probably the best thing about the first two films and probably also one of the best things about Rob Zombie's movies as well. Jamie Lloyd doesn't live very long as she's promptly killed by Michael. Yep, Jamie Lloyd, the protagonist from the previous two movies, is now dead. That would be like if they killed off Laurie Strode. Oh right, that happens. Before Michael killed Jamie, Jamie hid her baby so he couldn't find her. After Michael sees that Jamie's baby isn't actually with her, he sets out to find and kill it. Meanwhile, we go to one of the many main characters in the movie. We meet Kara Strode, who, as her name would hint, is a relative of Laurie Strode. Of course, I didn't actually know this until I saw it on Wikipedia. I've seen this film twice already and I didn't know that. It could be either that this film lacks to explain that much or that I didn't pay attention. Probably both, actually. Kara lives with her 6-year-old son Danny, her teenage brother Tim, and her parents Deborah and John. When we first meet Kara, we see her being spied on by Paul Rudd, who lives across the street. The character that Paul Rudd plays in this movie is Tommy Doyle, who of course was the boy that Laurie was babysitting in the first movie. Tommy has spent years trying to find out about Michael and what makes him so evil. While at the bus station, Tommy finds Jamie's baby and takes him into his care and calls him Steven. Because you know, when you find a stray baby dumped at the bus station, you take it into care and look after it. You don't report it to the police or anything. Tommy then bumps into Dr. Loomis. He tells Dr. Loomis that the Strode family actually live in the old Myers house. They both believe that Michael is going to come after the family while looking for the baby. Dr. Loomis warns Deborah about Michael. Deborah calls John, but is killed. When Kara returns home, she finds Tommy in her son Danny's bedroom. So what, is Tommy a paedophile now? Tommy takes him to his house and reveals the backstory of Michael's evil. Basically, when Michael was a baby, a druid-inspired cult gave Michael the curse of the Thorn. This is why he's evil, because he's cursed. The problem with this is that it takes all the terror out of Michael. Not knowing why he's going after people or why he's invincible is what makes him so scary. Explaining it fully takes everything away. Tommy thinks that Steven is going to be Michael's final kill. The man in black from the previous movie starts to tell Danny to kill, revealing that Danny is the person who the cult plans to curse next. The man in black is revealed to be Dr. Wynn, who was seen briefly in the original movie. Dr. Loomis and Tommy are both knocked unconscious as Kara and Danny are held captive inside the cult's headquarters. Tommy, Kara and Danny all try to escape as Michael goes to get his revenge on everyone. Tommy and Michael have a final battle where Tommy injects him with a corrosive liquid and beats him unconscious with a lead pipe. Then we start constantly cutting to white every time he hits him and he starts bleeding green. I mean, come on, he's a person, not an alien. The last shot of the movie is of Dr. Loomis screaming. In the theatrical version, it's never revealed why he screams, but it sounds really weird. Sadly, Donald Pleasance passed away during production of the movie. His scream at the end would be his last sound ever recorded on film. Throughout the movie, it's very obvious that he is frail and ill. It's a shame that it's the final movie in the series he was in, because I would have liked to have seen one final film with him in it. The movie is incredibly boring. I said the last one was boring, but it has nothing on this one. When I went back to the series and rewatched them for the reviews, I literally skipped this one. I've seen it twice and that's enough. It's a massive pile of shit. I did like Dr. Wynn's character, and if they took out all the cult stuff and made him a character that simply aided Michael through his killings, it would have been much better. The acting is atrocious and no one really tries. Even Donald Pleasance doesn't look too invested, although he was 75 at the time, so it makes sense. There is a producer's cut of the movie which is considered not only be massively different but also vastly superior. It finally got an official release on the 15-disc Blu-ray collection from Anchor Bay and Shout Factory. I haven't seen the producer's cut because the Blu-ray set is US only and I not only don't own a region-free Blu-ray player, but I don't have enough money to import the set anyway. Maybe one day it will get a release in the UK, but I highly doubt it, so I'll probably not get to see a proper version of the film in a while. But I can speak about the theatrical version in great detail because I own that on DVD. It's shit. Absolute shit. If you looked up shit in the dictionary, there would be a proper description of what shit is, but that proper description can also be used to describe Halloween: The Curse of Michael Myers. Weirdly, the writer of the film, Daniel Farrands, is the person who brought us the two fantastic documentaries Never Sleep Again and Crystal Lake Memories, two very in-depth documentaries about the Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th series. I think he should just stick with making horror movie documentaries. For a film bent on answering so many questions, there is a massive lack of questions actually asked and probably more asked than there were in the previous films. It's not only the worst in the series, but one of the worst horror sequels I've ever seen. I give it a 0.5 out of 10.